Okay, there were two issues with dilations that Mr. McDaniel and I decided that we want to go over with you and also give you a chance to reclaim some points from this Unit 2 test. And those two topics are scale factor and center of dilation. The picture that you have here does a nice job of showing both. Now, I know it gives you the answer here, so this is obviously not one where you're going to do this on your own, because it tells you the center is the origin, 0, 0, and it tells you the scale factor is 0.5. But I think it does a nice job of showing what you're looking for when you're looking for these two things. So as far as the center goes, the center is always, the center of dilation, is what the dilation is based out of. And not only are you, in this case, because the scale factor is 0.5, not only are you shrinking the size of the overall pre-image down to the image, you're decreasing the distance from the pre-image point to the center of dilation. So if we choose to focus on this point right here, 3, 1, its corresponding point on the image is the bottom right-hand corner, the one at 1.5 and comma 0.5. You not only have to change the size of the original figure, you're changing the distance. So to get from the center of dilation to the original pre-image, it's 3, 1. We'd have to go right 3, up 1. Well, because we are dilating that by a scale factor of 1/2, we have to cut that distance in half. So I now need to go from here, instead of right 3, I go half of that, which is right 1.5, and instead of up 1, it's up 0.5. So by doing that to all three of the points that we have, you can see that the dilation actually takes care of itself. So how do we identify the center? Well, the green dotted lines show that. You draw a line from your corresponding pre-image and image points, and they will all intersect at a common point. That common point is the center of dilation. The scale factor can be found by always looking for the corresponding sides that are both horizontal and vertical. So let's pull out the green one here. So I'm looking for a horizontal one here because that's just easier to count. And if I take a look, my pre-image, what I started off with was this bottom side, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 units long. So that's my image. That always goes on the bottom. And what I ended with was its corresponding side down here, which is 2. And if I simplify those, that's 1/2, which also equals 0.5, which corresponds with what they told me previously. Okay, so now for the next one, let's actually try one of these on our own. So if we take a look here and I draw some of these lines in, if I go from C prime to C and I draw a line through those, so I go from C prime to C, it's not a great line. Okay, so it gives me some options here. I won't know until I draw the same one through A prime and B prime and B, and it looks like, again, this one does the exact same thing as the previous one. The center of dilation is at 0, 0, which is the origin. Well, what's the scale factor? Well, let me change up colors here. So I'm going to choose to focus on this bottom side because, again, it's horizontal. So I'm always looking for either horizontal or vertical sides because it makes it easy on me. So I'm going to focus on these two here. The image is the one with the prime, so that goes up top. So my image, A prime, B prime, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units long. So 9 goes up top. The image, which is what I started with, the pre-image, which I started with, 1, 2, 3 units long, that goes on the bottom. And if I take 9 divided by 3, I see my scale factor is 3. So the center of dilation is 0, 0. The scale factor is 3. Let me put a box around that so it doesn't look like a fraction. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so now with this one, the center of dilation just has been the origin with the previous two examples. It doesn't always have to be the origin. So when I draw in this one is pretty obvious, I think. If I go from A prime through A and I go from C prime through C, I can see they all intersect at B and B prime, which I knew from the very beginning because if B and B prime don't move, they have to be the center of dilation. So the center of dilation, the center is at B. If I take a look and try to find my scale factor, let me try to find a different color here. We'll go a nice yellow. So I'm going to compare, let's compare the left side over here. So I'm going to compare A prime C prime to AC. Well, A prime C prime is the image, so that goes up top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9. The original was, well, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So that's 4.5. 9 over 4.5 gets me 2 for my scale factor. Finally, the last one. So if we take a look here with this one, I've got to draw in my lines. And I go from, let's go C through C prime. Let's go B through B prime and A through A prime. It looks like they hit right here. So the center is at 1, -1. My scale factor, this is 3. This one is 9. So this is a reduction. I put the 3 up top, the 9 on the bottom. It's 1/3 is my scale factor.